Hi everybody, it's Stephanie with Planning with Peanutty. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm back in the Christmas planner and I have this big folder that came with all those accessories and I don't want to waste it. I'm not going to throw it away. We're going to recycle it and repurpose it into pocket folders for your holiday planner. So instead of using this one that I've figured worked for the holidays, but there's nothing overly Christmassy or seasonal about it, let's use this packaging instead. So we're going to figure it out together and hopefully it turns out okay. So we're just going to start with cutting it in half. Be careful using sharp objects. I use scissors and a craft knife in this video today. So cutting that in half. Now I'm going to clean it up with the paper trimmer. Okay, so both edges nice and clean. And let's start with this one on the right, and I'm going to pull out a divider because it's the size I know we want to end up with. And let's just cut off the excess here. We'll start with the easy side. One nice cut all the way across. All right, we'll start that top measurement. And then let's go ahead and peel the pocket away from the back. Now I have to be careful doing this because I don't want to fold that blue backing. I just want to kind of carefully peel the pocket away from that back. All right, and it is hard to do without wrinkling and folding the paper. And tearing it a little bit is hard to avoid. So you can see it does tear a little bit, but not too bad. We're going to cover it up later. So let's go ahead and do the other side because we want to be able to cut straight across there without the folder pocket part getting in the way. So I'm going to peel the second part, comes off a lot easier. All right, and fold that down. And now I can measure all the way across there. Now I'm not going to cut on the pocket side, but that is a mark where I'm going to fold. All right, and I do want to cut a little slit right there so that we could fold that side of the pocket down. And then I put the ruler a little bit beneath that line, and then you fold down to it and use that ruler to get a straight fold. And then I also use the ruler to become like a bone folder so I could press down and get a sharp crease there. And then I'm going to peel off just that excess from the blue. All right. And then with the craft knife, I'm going to cut through just the first layer of cardstock there to unfold that little flap. And then I'm going to trim off some of the excess. We don't need that big of a flap hanging over. Okay. And again, I'm kind of figuring this all out as we go along. I'm going to cut that at an angle. Both sides of that is at an angle. Okay. And then just seeing if it matches up with the other side and that it all looks okay. Okay, and finish cutting across the top there. So now we've got the correct size. We just need to punch holes in that end. And I find that these punches do a pretty good job with things that are thicker than just one sheet of paper. One sheet of paper it has a hard time with, but 2 or 3 or the sheet of cardstock it does fine. Okay, then I'm going to use some double-sided adhesive. And I need a piece of scrap paper so I don't get any glue on the countertop or on the pocket folder where I don't want any. All right, so I'm just going to glue the little flaps. And then I just make sure that the glue distributed evenly. Sometimes I don't press it down completely flat. And then I found it a little easier to put the back down onto the folds instead of the other way around. And then I'm going to use the ruler to help me press it straight. I'm trying not to smush the pocket too much because I do make it more like a box. like it was originally. All right, and then we'll tuck that last one in. Sorry, it was out of frame there. There we go. And that is the completed folder. Now you could see I did leave it where it's a little boxy. And then we can take out our old one. There we go. And it does add quite a bit of bulk, leaving it boxy like that. Not sure if I like it being that bulky. I do go back later and take out all those extra pages that I'm not using, and then it's okay. But you can see that first one turned out pretty well. So let's go ahead and do the second one, the second side. Yeah, that one's gonna work perfectly. Okay, so with the second side, I do run into some problems, and I'll show you how I figure those out and fix it. So we can go ahead and do the easy cut across the top. So I'm just going to measure that real quick. All right, and then I'll go cut it. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to peel the pocket away from the backing. And this time I don't want to leave it so bulky. I'm not going to leave it more like a box. I want to flatten it out, flat like the folders usually are. Yeah, and careful not to fold that blue backing in half because we don't want to put a crease in it. So carefully peeling that away. I realized too, I probably could have put the ruler down in there and that might have helped it lay flat while I'm peeling the pocket away. And the first side's always harder than the second side. All right, you can see that second side I don't have much problems with. Okay, and then go ahead and open those flat. All right, now you can see the problem right away with this torn background, although I don't see it till later. You can see that that blue paper is torn. All right, so I measure the side that needs to be cut. Yeah, all right, so cut that side and see that tear there. That's gonna be the problem with this folder because I try to make the pocket a little bit smaller so that I can punch that edge and have the pocket still work. But I don't want that to show. So let me show you what happens. All right, we go ahead and punch that edge. All right, and then I'm going to make the pocket smaller than that edge is. So I'm going to cut in, mark where I want to cut it to. Yeah, did need to cut it first. All right, and then fold the pocket over. And the same technique we did on the first folder where I used the ruler to help me get a straight fold. And then I'm going to come in and trim that extra fold with a craft knife, careful using sharp objects. But just through the top layer, not through both layers. And then I just tear that. Okay. So there's our fold. Use the ruler like a bone folder, which again, if I saw earlier what I see later, I wouldn't have folded that. So keep that in mind. All right, and I do fold in the other side as well because that's the side that I cut from. Okay, and I don't want it to be a boxy folder. This one I want to lay flat, so it takes up less room in your planner. And trim that notch out as well. Just because the more layers you're folding across or gluing across, you know, the bulkier it's going to be. So we just trim that out. Okay, then you could see, I see it right here, that having that pocket like that's going to expose that raw edge that's torn there. I didn't realize it till right there. So then I come up with a solution. I could have gone and put washi tape there or tried to maybe scrapbook paper or something, but I figure I can just punch holes through the actual flap in the pocket, which I've done when I made a pocket for the skinny planner out of a classic pocket. I did it this way where you punch right through the pocket and then that just holds down that third side of the pocket. So I am going to trim it so that it matches that edge, and then let's punch a hole in that side. Okay, so I lined it up first with the back because I want the holes to overlap perfectly when the pocket's folded up and it's put in the planner. So I make sure I marked where I want to punch. There we go. And again, I usually have no problems punching anything thicker than 2 or 3 sheets of paper, but not too ridiculously thick. I haven't tried to punch anything laminated. I know people have a hard time with that. Okay, so then I'm going to glue this flap down. Let me just clean it up a little bit. And then that other side will just be put on the discs, and that'll hold that side down. So with a little scrap paper, I'll put adhesive on this side. And then we'll go ahead and fold it over. Trying to keep it straight on both sides. Now you can see it does hang over a little bit. It's not perfect. Yeah. But pretty close. And then I'm not crazy about the folds I put in that right side, but at least it did cover up the tear on the blue paper without having to use washi tape or scrapbook paper or anything else, which also would have fixed it just fine. But now that side will be flat, and then that right side is that boxier pocket. But both are going to work pretty well, and they're cuter, I think, than the pocket that had nothing to do with Christmas or holidays. And we're reusing that packaging instead of throwing it away or throwing it in the recycling bin. We can repurpose it. I think that turned out pretty cute. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like making projects like this, finding ways to repurpose things? I think these are going to be a lot of fun. And we can just tuck stickers or cards or whatever we want in there. And man, I'm having a lot of fun with this planner. It's turning out really cute. We're getting it all Christmassy. Let me know what you guys think. Comment down below. Click like if you like this video. Subscribe to see more. I have an entire Christmas planner playlist, so check that out. Please consider watching one more video, but thanks for watching, everybody. Love you. See you next time. Bye.